moving on, and this is my worst summer job. The summer after I graduated from undergrad, I spent it back home in Cleveland, Ohio, to try to make money to move to New York City in the fall. And I got a job as a waitress at the only Middle Eastern restaurant in Cleveland, Ohio, called Aladdin's. And Aladdin's was, I think, the most expensive thing on the menu was probably $11. So it wasn't going to be like heavy tips. It also had like vaguely Middle Eastern food, but then also had like a lot of pies that were just there that it really were not in any way tied to Middle Eastern cuisine at all, and a little bit moldy. The largest tip I got was from my mom when she came and ordered the only bottle of wine that had ever been purchased at Aladdin's, and sat and drank it with my uncle on some Saturday afternoon where the rest of the restaurant was like completely empty, and there was like my mom and my uncle just getting drunk on wine in the back. That was not great, you guys. I also got a lot of fights with the manager of it. He was a real stern taskmaster. We had to skim the top of the hummus and the baba ganoush every morning because it would like skim into like kind of like there'd be like an awesome gelatinous like layer on top, and we'd have to skim that off to get to the bottom. That was fun, guys. Aladdin's. What if I just start crying right now? Needless to say, I think the entirety of what I made that summer, I spent on my first cup of coffee in New York City. I also folded jeans at a Gap. That was a hard one. I was stuck in the back of the Gap, folding jeans. That was also a tough one, and not a lot of money. I was a camp counselor once for like a local elementary school's summer program. And then this girl named Candy crapped in the pool. I was under her watch, and then I had to skim it out and clear all the kids. And Candy was like, literally, I could see her grimace. Her face was like, she had like, I knew she was gonna take a crap, and I was like, oh no, is she gonna do it? And then she went like this to her bathing suit, and a log floated out, and then she swam away and was like, ew, and I was like, Candy. And she was like, what? And I didn't want to call her out, but we had to skim it out, and no one could go swimming that day. Just that day, though, which made me think, like, I feel like they probably should have been spent a little more time. So that was a pretty crappy summer job. Skimming children's feces off of a public pool surface. I don't know if it gets any worse. I don't even think I got paid for that job. I think that was strictly volunteer.
On and on and on. I said, and it's on and on and on.